What's up everyone, my name is Philip, also known as Hombre Felipe, and today we're finishing the Masterwork Research Apex special research that was obtained on the Pokémon GO Johto Tour that occurred on Saturday, February 26th for about 12 hours. And in order to get this special research you had to complete all the other special researches during that day or that tour. So the tour went on for 12 hours. I think I only had like 4 hours to do it since I had plans for the evening, so I was in a bit of a rush. And I managed to do them all. Almost managed to catch all the raid bosses, everyone except for Entei. And so here we are. And this research was meant to be done over a longer period of time than others. And the first step I already completed. This was before I even had the idea of recording Pokemon Go. So I apologize for that, but what happens in the first step is that you get to meet Apex Shadow Ho-Oh and capture it. And that is what I've done. So now we're on step number 2. I already completed 2 of the tasks here, and the last one was to defeat a Team Rocket Grunt. And one of the tasks I already completed was to earn a heart with your body for 30 days in a row. So that was a task that you couldn't really speedrun, since you had to do it for 30 consecutive days. And I will admit I couldn't really sleep the night prior to earning the last heart, so yeah. I stayed up and around midnight I went in, got an easy heart, and finally did it. So now that we completed step 2, let's see what Willow has to say. Do you have everything you need, Hombre Felipe? Potions, revives, snacks? Saving Apex Shadow Lugia will be an even greater challenge, so be prepared. The team leaders and I discovered that Team Go Rocket has hidden Apex Shadow Lugia away in a secret hideout, guarded by a gauntlet of grunts, and standing with them is none other than Giovanni himself. And while I have you, remember how I said I'd conduct more research into Apex Shadow Ho-Oh? Well, it turns out that if you purify it, its sacred fire move will become immeasurably powerful. Apex Purified Ho-Oh might be an incredible ally in our quest to save Apex Shadow Lugia. These may just be some of the toughest battles you'll face as a Pokemon trainer yet. But I know you, above all else, are the one most prepared for the challenge. Hell yeah, Willow. So yeah, Apex Shadow Lugia is our next target that we are after. And we see here that the third step of this research includes hatching 10 eggs, defeating 30 Team Go Rocket members, and defeating the Team Go Rocket boss, being Giovanni. So I never faced Giovanni prior to this, and I didn't really know what to expect. But right now what I have to do is finishing these tasks, and I will see you once that's done, and we'll beat Giovanni. Alright, so I defeated 30 of the grunts, and now we're gonna claim our reward, which is a super rocket radar, which we then can use to find Giovanni. So if you put this on or equip it, we can use it like a usual radar and find out where he hides. And we can see that in my neighborhood there are 2 places where he is. So our next step is to beat Giovanni and hatch the 2 final eggs. And in order to kind of prepare myself, I decided to Mega Evolve my Charizard. And this is the first time Mega Evolving Charizard. And I think that the Y version is more powerful, it gets more combat power, but I just like the X version more. And I'm gonna admit that I decided to stay home and wait until the balloon that appears. And if you have the Super Rocket Radar equipped, when the balloon arrives it is guaranteed to be Giovanni. So here he is, his pretty little balloon. And here comes the boss himself. I am the leader of this enterprise, Giovanni. There is no stopping my plans. You've made it this far. Let me see just how strong you are. You will. So, since I haven't battled Giovanni before, I don't know what his lineup is, and I just decided to go with 3 of my strongest Pokemon. And my arsenal isn't the greatest, but I think it's alright. And we see that the first Pokemon he has is a Persian, which means that my Pokemon are not super effective. At least I have a Tyranitar, making his attacks not very effective. But you can see that his Pokemon are very strong, meaning that even though they are not very effective, they do pretty much the same or even more damage than I do. So I'm already feeling like this might not work, especially since Giovanni, like the leaders, have 2 shields. So at least I get 1 Pokemon down, and the second one he throws out is Nidoking. And you can see that he's just annihilating my Gyarados. And I feel like this is not gonna work. Like you see, I don't even down his second Pokemon. You fail as soon as you challenge me, trainer. Canella inspiring us, talking about what ground Pokemon are weak to. And I get it, because in the anime Giovanni is a ground gym leader, but here he has Persian and Nidoking. So, yeah, thanks for the tips, but no thank you. Okay, so he has Persian and Nidoking, so we need to come up with another strat. And the hard part when selecting a team is always, you have some Pokemon that are maybe stronger, but they are not effective enough. So let's see what his final Pokemon is. And it's Lugia. A Shadow Lugia. So this isn't the Apex Shadow Lugia that we're after, but he does have a Lugia. And I think like other Rocket leaders, Giovanni's lineup changes as well. At least that's what I've gathered after this match. Unfortunately, his Lugia has 13.7k combat power against my 3k Charizard. So even though I am Mega Evolved, you know, this doesn't really look that good. And that's another L for me. And I experimented with a couple of different lineups, but ultimately what I went with is a Scizor, my Rhyperior, and my Aggron. And the reason behind these three is that Scizor has a rather fast charge attack, meaning that I can faster get rid of Giovanni's shields. Then I have my Rhyperior against Nidoking, and my Aggron, that is Steel and Rock, has rock attacks and is super effective against Lugia, and Lugia is not very effective against Aggron. So I decided to switch out my Rhyperior to my Aggron just because my Rhyperior has a charged attack left, and I want to save it for Lugia as a plan B. We managed to get down the Nidoking, and now comes the final boss here. So like I said, I'm super effective against Lugia, but Lugia isn't super effective against my Aggron. So here comes the danger. And you can even see Aggron doing a little wiggle like, oh shit, what's gonna happen? And even though Lugia's charge attack isn't super effective, it does do a lot of damage. But we managed to get in a charge attack, and we managed to bring Lugia down. I shall step aside this time. Boom! We just won over Giovanni. So, what Pokemon are we gonna get to catch? It's Lugia, a Shadow Lugia, which is awesome. Lugia is one of my favorite Pokemon. And I realized that I have limited amount of balls to throw. So I'm just throwing my golden raspberries. I even failed the first ball. But the second ball hits. It's a terrible, terrible throw. Not even in the circle. But still, he's caught. Boom, we got ourselves a Shadow Lugia. So we get a little medal here for defeating the boss. And let's go see. We get the reward of 3 silver pineapple berries, or pineapple berries, but we still have 2 more eggs to catch. So I'm gonna check out how a Lugia looks here. And the stats are decent. You know, I'm not gonna complain over a basically free Lugia here. And if you purify it, it gets a boost. I think that it might be 3-star after purifying it. But I'm always unsure on whether to purify these or not. Since I do get a damage bonus of 20%, we should check out my Apex Shadow Ho-Oh before we leave, just so you can see how that looks. And so what's special about these Apex versions of Ho-Oh and Lugia is that they don't have frustration. Ho-Oh, for instance, has Sacred Fire Plus, meaning that it is a Sacred Fire but a stronger version. And if you purify Shadow Ho-Oh, it gets a Sacred Fire Plus Plus, meaning it will be even more powerful. But I'm gonna keep it Shadow for now, and let me know if you think I should purify it or not. But like I said, the final step here is to hatch 2 eggs, so I need to go out and get moving, because I have 2 more eggs and a couple of kilometers in order to get those. And after hatching these eggs, I'm finally done with the steps. We get some Stardust, some XP, and a mysterious Pokemon has appeared. Whoever could it be? And yes, it is Lugia. Felt like turning on the AR mode here. It isn't the most pretty background, I realized when doing this, but let's get Lugia out, and here he is. Now the perk is that it's not as stressful catching him, since we don't have, well, we do have a limited amount of balls, but I have very many, so I'm considering it as an infinite amount of Pokeballs. I'm not used to catching in AR mode though, so sometimes it's a bit off, and I just want this sucker to go in my ball and join my team. And boom, we got him. We got him. We got Apex Shadow Lugia. So, here's Will again. Great Scott! Hombre Felipe, you did it! You saved Apex Shadow Lugia from Team Go Rocket. Just like Ho-Oh, Apex Shadow Lugia's Aeroblast attack is more powerful than any I've ever seen. And just like Apex Shadow Ho-Oh, I'm confident that its power will increase even more if you purify it. Now, I say we're overdue for a celebration. You've earned it. Your recent accomplishments are no small feat. Thanks again for all your help. I'm sure Lugia and Ho are grateful too. Until our next adventure, let's go. And we get our final rewards here, XP, some Stardust, and thankfully some Lugia candy as well. And of course, we gotta check out Lugia here. I always forget when I catch Pokemon to appraise them immediately, but we can do it now. And here we can see that it's a 2-star, but if I do purify it, it will at least get a 3-star. So it's also decent. The combat power isn't that great, but it's a Shadow Pokemon. But you know what? I'm happy. I waited a month for this. And it has the attacks of a Dragon Tail and Aeroblast Plus. And just like Ho-Oh, if we do purify it, the charge attack will turn into Aeroblast Plus. So yeah, there you have it. This was the Masterwork Research Apex questline in Pokemon Go. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any feedback on the editing, the pacing, the content, whatever, feel free to leave a comment below. I always love getting constructive criticisms, especially since this is my first Pokemon Go video I ever done, and the first video I ever recorded on my phone. So yeah, until next time, I wish you a beautiful day, and I will see you later.